Hey guys, I'm back. My first video now has 600 views and a bunch of comments, which was way more than I was expecting. So, gosh dang, thanks for watching it. I'm gonna try a more scripted video this time, but if you like the more off-the-cuff narration, I'm happy to try that too. I'd also like some feedback on video length. Do you prefer this sort of content for short form or long form? I like the idea of this being a podcast style video with video footage, but I'm happy to try for some short videos too. A podcast sounds like a lot of work, even though it would probably be a lot of fun. Speaking of feeling awkward, I was looking through some older footage and found these clips of my first run with this chassis when it wasn't dialed in at all. It's funny to see how much more composed myself and the crawler have become since then. I think one of the main differences is that I've turned the max speed on my ESC way down to 50% and set a large band that lets me run at 20% power consistently. It's almost like having a cruise control. I've noticed this allows me to take the time to make decisions for all four wheels as they encounter new features and areas of varying traction. I've yet to break anything, which is awesome. Because you can really easily see the center of gravity begin to shift or anticipate places where I can basically just get my tires jammed into. You'll see later in the video that I tried a different set of wheels and tires to get a sense of how the 1.8-inch Set A wheels compare to the standard 1-inch wheels. It's not a perfect comparison because they changed my weight distribution from 52 front, 48 rear to 60-40. And I'm running Patagonias instead of the Endura comp tires. But there's a noticeable difference between the wheel styles. The most apparent change is from rigidity to flexibility. Standard crawler tires seem really spongy now, which isn't a bad thing, but I did notice my Patagonias would sometimes collapse while side hilling, or while my front wheels would press into certain rock features. And I do know, off script here, I do know that you can get better foams or those like fluff stuffers or whatever they're called, but I've never bothered with that, and maybe this is a time I could. But if I did have to take issue with the spongy tires, I'd say that sometimes it puts unnecessary stress on your drivetrain because all that extra foam allows the truck to lodge itself into certain spots, kind of like that first clip in the video where my front right tire squished up underneath a rock, and you can kind of get it over and you kind of want to do it, but also you're really jamming the truck in and putting stress on your gears. So I've yet to experience this with the Set A wheels because they just don't squish in at all. Another win for the Set A's rigidity is how they allow me to hook up just over the edge of any kind of feature. Any amount of contact creates reliable grip, which is a total win in my book. If you want to see what these kinds of wheels are capable of when perfectly set up, you should check out a link. I'll put it in the description of this video. It's a Chinese-made crawler that has the weight hangers I was talking about in the last video, and it's pretty insane. Oh, by the way, that rock right there, that's just a cool rock. I feel like it'd be fun to crawl, but also if I drop my crawler off, that'd probably smash up a lot of stuff, and I don't really feel like breaking it. So anyway, cool rock. Side note, crawling has made me appreciate rocks more than I ever thought I would in my life. Like, there's a clip a little bit later with this iron oxide that just has the most to die for, like red orange color in it, and I don't know. I just catch myself looking at rocks all the time, so shout out to rocks. So I got to mention that the Endura pin tires that I have set up on my Set A wheels are pretty crazy. I used to think that the Patagonia tires were these ones were the best tires I'd ever really had, but the pin tires just like grab onto everything. As the tiny pins, like they grab every crack and crevice, and it made me start thinking about the concept of the hedonic treadmill, which is sort of a awkward thing to talk about in the crawler world, but I can familiarize you real quick. It's basically the idea that the next piece of gear or item you're gonna get is better than the previous one, but unbeknownst to you, there's one after that and another one after that, and the only way you ever step off the treadmill is by checking out completely or getting to the end of it and realizing that like you got the best thing and it doesn't really make a big difference anyway. So it's happened to me with pocket knives and guitar amplifiers and probably Magic the Gathering to some extent. So it's funny to see how it just naturally happens with hobbies like this one. Dopamine seeking behavior. Hopefully I'll learn someday. So with that in mind, I would like to steer these videos towards the concepts rather than gear. I think gear's kind of inescapable. The topic of gear is kind of inescapable in the RC world, and most RC channels are just gear. It's like, I got this new car, I got this new car, I got this new car, and you know, it doesn't really encourage you to just practice with the one you've got. And maybe I can say that because I spent most of my life playing guitar professionally, and I kind of try to, gear is really important, and it lets you achieve new things and do whatever you're trying to do a little bit better. But ultimately, getting outside and practicing with the thing you've got is the best thing you can do, and probably the most economical way to spend your time. So I've noticed that there's a lot of things I would really like to talk about. Like, I think crawling is really cool, particularly because it's so knowledge-based. Like, there's so much to learn about, where's my list? I had a little list here. Like flex, like what is flex? Why is it good? Why is it bad? Why do people like it? Overdrive, I can see all kinds of questions, like what's overdrive? What does it do? Four-wheel steering, which I just think is awesome. Weight distribution, how does it affect you, etc. So I'd like to at least steer these videos towards topics and concepts rather than gear. And of course, like, I'd love to do a rundown on my crawler and talk about tires and wheels and stuff too. But there's some stuff that we spend money on that I'm not totally convinced we do, like expensive servos. You'll notice I don't have the expensive servos, and I guess I've got opinions about that. But let's see. So before I close out, I guess I'll mention what I've done to my rig since the last video. Just general hobby stuff. If you want to do this stuff and you haven't done it before, do it, because it makes a difference, maybe. I smoothed out the bottoms of my links, plastic skid plate and chassis with 600 grit sandpaper, which I've been meaning to do for a long time, and maybe I should have I guess I didn't completely finish this build when I started running it, but I noticed it makes a huge difference when I'm high centered. I'm way more likely to hook a tire onto something and then pull myself off of what I'm high centered on, versus like just floundering around on it and then getting spun around 90 degrees and then not being able to do what I was trying to do. What else? Oh yeah, I turned my shocks upside down. I think you can see it in this clip. Yeah, I've been trying to maximize my turning angle, and I realized I wasn't getting everything out of it that I could. So I turned my shocks upside down, which got those fake little oil barrels or oil reservoirs out of the way. And I trimmed off the front screw on my my servo, like the steering servo horn, because I noticed it was getting in the way, and it always kind of hangs up on things. And then I don't know, I'm like, oh, I should trim this, and then I don't, and then I'm like, I should trim this, and I don't. So I finally did it, which feels good. So anyway, this is the end of the video. I wanted to get over this feature. This one was really cool, but it's way steeper. I should mention, everything in this video is way steeper than it looks. So if you thought it was impressive, just imagine it's twice as impressive as it actually is. That's a joke, or an attempt at a joke. Anyway, thanks for watching my footage, and give me some feedback. Say hi. I'm friendly. You got any questions, please ask me. I love talking about this stuff. Peace out. Bye.